Kenneth Copeland Ministries and Eagle Mountain International Church boldly stand with Israel, the people, and their right to the land. This month, we're focusing on the love of God and how that love impacts our vision. After all, Israel is the apple of God's eye. Love isn't just about a romantic relationship or even the phileo kind of love for each other. But as a believer, it's about knowing and loving what God loves. In both Genesis 12:3 and Numbers 24:9, God makes it plain that we are to bless Israel. He says this, "Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you." Now, you may be new to Inside the Vision and wondering why we would dedicate a whole episode to Israel. Well, there are two parts to Inside the Vision. We want to inspire your vision and encourage your faith. But the other purpose is to inform you of all that Kenneth Copeland Ministries has done, is doing, and is going to do. Blessing Israel is a major part of what we have done and what we're still doing and what we will continue to do. Last year alone, partners and friends of Kenneth Copeland Ministries and EMIC gave $10 million to support our Jewish brothers and sisters after the horrendous attack on October 7th, 2023. Today, I want to give you an update on our Israel initiatives in support of our friends. It's my desire that our generous partners and friends know the impact that their seed has had on a people and a land so dear to God's heart.
Welcome. It's so exciting for us to be here and welcome all of you new Olim. Kama tov shegatem habayta.
מדינת ישראל חובה עכשיו מלחמה, אבל כשאתם בוחרים להגיע דווקא עכשיו, הוא משהו שהוא פשוט מדהים ומרגש, אז זה נותן לנו הרבה כוח.
עלייה היא אהבה. אהבה לארץ ישראל, אהבה למדינת ישראל. כל הכבוד לכם על האומץ לבוא לכאן ולהיות איתנו. אתם הכוח של מדינת ישראל. אתם הצמיחה, אתם העתיד.
I want to thank Julie Cerrone, our donor, Keren and Hayesod, Christian Friends of Israel from KCM. Thank you so much for supporting this plane of Aliyah.
How special it is for us to be a part of your Aliyah journey and to be a part of bringing Bible prophecy to pass. We've been watching in horror the rampant anti-Semitism that is growing across Europe. We must not allow the Jewish people to stand alone ever again. So we made a promise of never again, and never again is now. Welcome home, Am Israel Chai.
Pastor Terry and Pastor George, I wanted to thank you. It happened all thanks to your support, your friendship and love for the Jewish people. We are still under a war here in Israel, and today you brought a smile to our face. We are fulfilling the dream of 80 people who returned to the land of Israel thanks to your love and friendship.
Tellement d'émotions, c'est absolument incroyable. Israël, c'est le pays des Juifs et donc tous les Juifs doivent être en Israël. Donc ils en font partie à partir d'aujourd'hui et voilà. Donc je trouvais ça magnifique, merveilleux.
אנחנו גאים בכם, אנחנו אוהבים אתכם.
This is your homeland, and we, all of the organizations, the ministry, the Jewish agency, Keren and Hayesod, we are going to be with you for the duration. You always have support from all of us. Bruchim habayim, mazal tov, v'ba'atzlacha.
Shmulik Fried is a vital part of the Keren Hayesod United Israel Appeal. Now, this organization is in partnership with the global Jewish community. They work to further the national priorities of the State of Israel and Israeli society with a special emphasis on advancing weaker communities. They nurture disadvantaged and marginalized youth, and they encourage Aliyah, the Jews returning to their homeland. And they also implement rescue operations and connect young returning Jews to Israel and Jewish life. Shmulik Fried is a dear friend to Kenneth Copeland Ministries, Eagle Mountain International Church, to Julie, Terry, and myself. Shmulik, it is so good to have you here in the United States visiting us today. What a pleasure it is.
Thank you so much. It is an honor for me to be here with you. And it's a very difficult time to leave Israel, but coming over here, I feel so much encouraged. I feel so strong to be surrounded with people who love the Jewish people and the State of Israel. So thank you for having me.
Well, we're so glad that you're here. And I so appreciate the relationship that has been developed. And what I want to do is begin with that relationship with Julie. Tell me a little bit about that first.
So I think it was in 2019, Pastor Terry started talking to me about, I think we need to start thinking about supporting Aliyah. So I unbeknownst to me, she started squirreling away money in an Aliyah account. And 2020 hit. And Israel was closed. We couldn't get in. My daughter was living in Israel. I was having serious conversations with the Lord about not only the fact that my daughter was there, but also I was having conversations with tour guides, bus drivers, our friends in Israel, and they were alone, and they weren't working, and they needed encouragement. So I put in a request with the Israeli consulate to go, and they denied my request. And I had a thought, and I knew in the moment it wasn't my thought. And the thought was, I wonder if the Israeli government knew that we had money in an account to pay for a plane load of Jews to come back to Israel, if they would make an exception and let me in to film it. So I left that message for one person. And so the next day, I think I got a call from Shmulik, and he was like, "Hi, who are you?" I got your name. And so we began this conversation, and he was like, "Can you send me a page? Who is Julie? Who is Pastor Terry? Who is Pastor George?" And I remember him asking me if I could get through all the bureaucracy, if I could get you in. And at this time, Israel was closed. It was closed to Jews around the world. And so Shmulik was like, it would take a miracle, but if a miracle could happen, how long would it take for you to have the money available? And I was like, 2-3 days. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're serious. I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. And so Shmulik did his supernatural work with God, and I got a permission to come into Israel, and we welcomed a plane load of Jews from France in October of 2020. Wow. And that's when we first met each other.
We have been so privileged to be able to have this entrance into Israel. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us and the donors of our ministry to participate in this. So please tell us.
First of all, I want to tell you, I'm a grandchild of Holocaust survivor. My grandparents, they made Aliyah after the Holocaust from Hungary, losing all their families, relatives, and started a new life in the land of Israel. And one of the sentences that my grandfather was used to say is that as long as the gate in Israel is open for Jewish people to return home, the gate in Auschwitz will always remain closed.
Wow.
And when Julie called me and she said that she wanted to come to Israel to welcome the plane from France, the state of Israel decided we are on a closure. All the Israelis that were abroad, either on a business or traveling, that wanted to return to Israel could not return. The only people, and it's really, you can check me, the only people that were allowed to enter Israel was those people who choose to make Aliyah. Because that's something that the government of Israel said, we are not stopping Aliyah. They're going to come, they're going to be in quarantine, they can bring the virus with them if they want, but they're making Aliyah. So for me, when I got this call, and it was like a divine call. It's like a call from God. We are Christian, and we want to help you to bring your people back home. For me, it was like the fulfillment of biblical prophecies happening, and I was so happy that you came and for your support to bring the French Jewish people back to the land of Israel.
And that began a long relationship now, where we've been working together. You've been going to Israel and meeting those airplanes.
You know, we are so grateful for you. I want to tell you, Keren Hayesod is operating in 45 different around the world, and we have supporters that are helping us in Aliyah and also in other projects. And, you know, many donors, they want to support Israel. They want to be part of it. They give their donation and say goodbye, and some people are staying. But with you, it was very obvious from the beginning that it's not going to be like a one-time. You are really taking a part in the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And since then, thousands of people have made Aliyah to Israel thanks to your support. They came from Russia, they came from Ukraine, they came from France, from Britain, from South Africa, from Latin America, including from North America. You are literally saving Jewish life, and you are guaranteeing the continuity of Jewish future for many generations to come thanks to your support.
Wow, what a privilege to be a part of that and to see. And it's not just that you bring them on the airplanes, that's wonderful, but then they don't get off the plane and you give them a meal ticket and say, do the best you can. You really watch over them.
First of all, the reason why we use the word Aliyah and not immigration, because Aliyah in Hebrew, it means that I'm going up. I'm going up in my spiritual level, and I'm going up getting close to God. So for us, bringing Jewish people to the land of Israel, it's not about, they are moving because they want to improve their life. It's about we helping them to come closer to God, to the homeland that was promised to us thousands of years ago, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. But it's a very, like you said exactly, it's a very challenging thing. Like bringing a Jew from Europe, for example, it's a $700 ticket. And then what? He comes from a different culture. He doesn't speak the language. He was a doctor in London, for example, but he cannot work in Israel. The license is not good enough for Israel. The children, they're not speaking the language. It's a lot of challenges. And we have a whole system in Israel, and that's involved buildings across the country that we have apartment, and that means that from the minute that a Jew decides to make Aliyah, a taxi will meet them at the airport, will take him to the absorption center, hot meal will wait for him in the apartment when he comes. We will help them to find a job. We will teach them Hebrew. We will do everything that he can. Like for the next 2 to 3 years, he can be with no money, and we will take care of all his needs until he's ready to start his new life in Israel.
Shmulik, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming over. You're headed right back to Israel. And we are looking forward, especially Terry and I, because you've been back there time and time again, but we're looking forward to being with you very soon and seeing all the wonderful work that you're doing over there and how our donors are a part of what you are doing.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to have you with us in Israel.
We'll be there.